Okay, so our final demonstration is a green smoothie that took a while for me to get the right kind of taste that I wanted. It's not going to taste how it tastes when I make it because normally I use green apples, Granny Smith apples, instead of the red ones. Couldn't find any for today, so we're using a good old red apple. They're all apples. This is just to give it a little bit of sweetness so that it's not too green. And we have our spinach. So you're going to wash your spinach. You have your spinach, and you have your parsley and your kale. So you have the mix of the green leafy vegetables and the cruciferous vegetables that Dr. Douglas talked about last night. So you have that, and you're also going to add ginger as well, which will give you that almost complete blend to start your morning with your green smoothie. So I'm going to add about 2 apples. I have 4 cut up. I don't know if all will fit, so I'll add about 2 for now. I took the core out so that we don't include the seeds in the smoothie. You don't want to include the seeds. And I'm adding this to about 4 cups of water to the Vitamix. And you can do a juice. I prefer the juice, honestly, but the fiber is good. So we're going to add about 2 or 3 apples to the Vitamix. And this is 1 chopped cucumber. So I'm adding the seeds, I'm adding the skin of the cucumber, all that stuff. And then I'm adding about, I would say, 3 tablespoons of ginger. And this is your kale. I'm going to use 2 leaves to start. So I'm just going to chop it up really quickly. We're going to add the kale and about 4 leaves of spinach. And I'm going to blend it. Once I start blending it, I'm going to add the celery and the ice. It don't work. So I normally use my Ninja Pro. This works really well too. This is where the juice store that I go to, they use this. You want to blend it as much as possible because the kale and the spinach is very fibrous. So if you don't blend it well, you're going to be chewing for the entire day. So I like to blend it really well. Pardon? Okay. So I'm just going to add some ice and the celery, and I'm going to blend it some more. So this is 1 stalk of celery that I am adding. And I'm blending it at the highest speed. So you can blend it for as long as required to break it down, and you can add more ice. The ice will help it to come out a little bit smoother, as well as the cucumber. When I don't add cucumber, it's a little more liquid and leaf. But when I add cucumber, it's a bit creamier. Okay. And you can taste these. Pardon me? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Yes, you want to add some parsley. So about this amount of parsley, 2 sprigs of parsley, 2 or 3. Add this in. And you want to taste it. You might need to add more apple if you're not accustomed to the taste. So we had 4 cups of water that we started with, and I added some ice. You can add ice as much as you want. Water is good. And then I added about 2 to 3 sprays of parsley, 1 stalk of celery, 3 green apples are preferred, um, 2 leaves of kale chopped, and 3 to 4. I normally use about 4 to 5, but 4 to 5 leaves of spinach can be added, and 1 medium-sized cucumber. And then you want to remember your ginger. So if you're at home, obviously you won't make this much, so maybe you can cut it in half, depending on how much you want to drink. If you're making it for your family, this should be a good recipe to follow. So this amount of ginger to this would be probably a little less, depending on how much heat you want. You can add it, blend it until the consistency is how you want it, and then you can drink it right away. Don't put it down. Drink it, and you can use that for breakfast. Yes. So I'm going to pour it into cups. If you would like to sample, you can sample. Any questions? No. Thank you so much for being an awesome audience. Just kidding. Right. So Auntie Flo has been reading, and what she's saying is when you're drinking these types of juices, you want to keep it in your mouth for a little bit so that your salivary amylase can work on the good stuff that you're drinking instead of just trying to gulp it down because you want to get it over with. Right, and you can chew it, keep it in your mouth so that all the nutrients are broken down before it goes down. Okay, any more questions? Okay, thank you very much. That was our last recipe demonstration. You can see me, our sister Flo, with your constructive criticism at the end. And we invite you all to come forward and check out the finished products as well as the samples. You want me to do it live? Okay. Okay, before we do that,